our wash cycle, because this is a very strange step in making fuel. People think, oh my God, you're putting water in your fuel. But it's important, as I said earlier, you have to put the water, you have to wash these impurities out of your fuel. They do have different systems now. They call them dry wash systems. However, they are not very good at removing the methanol from the product, from the fuel product, so you can still mess up some injectors, mess up some fuel tanks, or not have an ASTM standard fuel at the end. So we like to wash, it cleans our fuel up. We usually wash 4 or 5 times, depending on the quality of fuel that you made. Today we made a good quality fuel from a not so great oil source, but we did it. We made a good fuel. It passed our test, and it indicates that it is likely to pass the ASTM standard. If we would take a sample of our fuel to the laboratory and pay $75 a sample, our sample would probably pass the ASTM standards, okay? Now, we're going to mist this water, 60 gallons of water into this 60 gallons of fuel, and we're going to let this settle overnight. The longer you let it settle, the more impurities get attracted to the water, and they fall to the bottom. You want the mist to take a long time because you want those impurities to be captured, those ions to be captured into the water molecule and pulled to the bottom. So the longer you let it mist, the greater chances of that occurring. Now once we've washed our fuel maybe 4 times or so, we're going to go through what we call a bubble dry. And a bubble dry is simply an aquarium aerator system with wooden bubblers like this. And after we wash 3 times, you don't want to put you don't want to put air and bubble into your system until you've removed a lot of the soap that's in there, because then you'll just make a big emulsion, like we talked about earlier, big frothy emulsion layer of soap. Because what does soap do when you agitate it? It bubbles. If you put the bubble wash in here too early, then you're going to get a big emulsion that occurs in your fuel, and you don't want that. You don't want that. That's very difficult to remove. So after about 3 washes, we'll put the bubble dry system in for about 48 hours. With a little water at the bottom so that the soap ions and the methanol and stuff can be captured in the water and drained out. And that's why we have this drain step. Because we want to make sure after we wash, bubble dry, we're going to drain the remaining impurities from our tank, okay? And then the last procedure that we have here is this is a new technology. It's called an ion bead exchange system. Ours is called biokleen, and we'll put our fuel through the biokleen system for about 3 hours. Now the biokleen system is merely a filter system, a filtration system that has beads in it that attract the positive ions of the water, partially positive ions of the water, and the positive ions of the either potassium or sodium that you used as a catalyst in your fuel. So this is the last ditch effort to try to remove any impurities from your fuel before you put it into your tanks of your tractors and your trucks. And so this is one filter filling of the beads will last about 1,000 gallons or so. It just depends on the type of beads. There's a lot of different beads out there you can use. You can read about it on the internet. But this is the system that we have. It's called biokleen, and we use the rosin beads. Okay.